they failed to come out and say, not all Igbos are criminals. Not all Igbos are ritualists. They took it in until recently when they started pushing back to say, not all Igbos are criminals. So that a generation will come in Igbo land that will never be called criminals. Okay? Then after the war, when we were made to believe, Princess do say that here, Omoala Deniwa, we are princes and princesses. Are we? For real? Are we actually princes and princesses? Where we now have generations that actually believes that they could cut off head to make money. And indeed, Agbero or Agberoism that is now being institutionalized in Yoruba land, is that also being kind of shared enough? It's not being shared enough. So a time is going to come, it is here already, where we now have the supposed educated Yorubas, exposed Yorubas, well-traveled Yorubas, who are now pretty much promoting bigotry to the point that they are defending certificate forger, drug dealers, because they were told, no matter how much of this, the Igbos are worse. The Igbos are worse. Why we continue to degenerate and degenerate. So a day will come, a year will come. I mean, it's already here though, where you now have some of these miscreants, bigots, attacking their fellow Yorubas that will not stand behind drug dealers, treasury looters, and other criminals. Because, you know, people like myself that will never, for any reason, speak in support of all these criminals in Yoruba land. I have been called names by those who are pretty much supporting, and because it doesn't suit the narrative that Yorubas are educated, Yorubas are well exposed. But today, are we? They are making it even much like Lagos is Yoruba land, and every Yoruba should just look up to Lagos and claim Lagos, while the rest of Yoruba land is wallowing in abject poverty, abject ignorance, ritualists, and other vices, to the point that they don't want you to say all this in public. If you say them in public, they will call you Omoale. You are spoiling the Yoruba name, and all other things like that. Today, a drug dealer from Yoruba land is being defended by this minute few, because it's Yoruba. Today, Nigeria is going down economically and others, right? 70% of those who are destroying Nigeria right now, they are Yorubas, appointed by Tinubu. So where is that education? Where is that exposure? We are watching our children. They are growing up into what? Into criminality. Looking for pants, to turn pants, to get somebody's pants, and use that for juju so that they can buy Benz. So what that guy is saying is this. He took the Igbos, the courage of that stigmatization, especially a system that says, if you are Yoruba, or if you are a northerner, you do not really have to do much. Fair enough. You do not have to do much before you can get a place in Nigeria. I remember saying that no matter how much or whatever I say about Nigeria, which I do all the time, no amount of millions of my videos on social media deriding Nigeria, saying all of the horrible things about Nigeria. If a day I choose to say I want to be president of Nigeria, I will still kind of have the chance of becoming the president of Nigeria because I'm a Yoruba man. No amount of praises that an Igbo man who is doing a legitimate business, legitimate life, and all of that, even praising Nigeria, no amount of, the positivity of these Igbos towards Nigeria will hand them a place in leadership of Nigeria. These and many other deceit that they have put in our head, while we are degenerating slowly and slowly and slowly. In the next few years, if we are not there already, we will be in the place of the Alimajiri North. Now we have Alimajiris in Yoruba land. Usually they stay in Yoruba land. Begging is not our own thing. In fact, if you see any Yoruba that begs, they are considered as men abominable. But now we have them everywhere. The redistribution of wealth in Yoruba land doesn't exist, just like the Rankadede of the North. When Awolowo was educating the Yorubas, he believes then that that is our own master key to greatness, whether to wealth, whether to education, and all of that stuff, right? There were things that should make us Omoluabi. And why were they calling us Omoluabi? Because we have morality, we have good character, and we all value our own names, the names of our fathers, that we were told that as a Yoruba man, do everything you can to protect the name that your father bequeathed to you. Make sure that name doesn't spoil, because if you do let the name of your father get spoiled, you have destroyed your family lineage, and they will remember your name. And of course, not anymore. People are doing things that it doesn't really matter anymore, okay? Just do whatever you can to be rich, even if you have to kill people for it. So a day is coming that will be in the category of the degenerates, and courtesy of dislikes of the Ronukus, who are calling their fellow Yorubas Omale this, Omale that, all because of one man, a drug dealer. That's how much we have degenerated. Now, they have succeeded also in raising generation of hateful people who also hate themselves. And one day, we will then have to deal with not all Yorubas, and it will be too late. So I am happy that I happen to be one of the Yorubas that is speaking up like millions of others. So if you're a Yoruba person and you are currently being gaslighted to make you think hating other people, other tribes, is how to preserve your Yorubaness, a day is coming that the rest of the world won't see it either way. They will just say the Yorubas, they are ritualists. Oh, Yorubas, they are drug dealers. Yorubas, they are criminals. Yorubas are this and that. And it may be too late for me and you, our children, to debunk all those. So leave sentiment and leave emotion aside. He gave a very good example there too. When the entire Nigeria conspired against the Igbos, you know what they said? The audacity of the Igbos to actually stage or say they want to leave Nigeria, and held Nigeria down for 3 years in a bloody genocide against them, and also to make sure that never happened again. Indeed, that actually helped the Igbos to survive and to arrive at where they are today. Today, they are the most educated in Nigeria. They are also the one holding the economic capital of Nigeria, so to say. Wherever you want to see the commercial and all of that, monetary this and that in Nigeria, the Igbos are at the epicenter of it. These are the people that were given 20 pounds after the Civil War. They were told if they are to gain admission into any unity school in Nigeria, they must score the highest mark, or else they will not be admitted. But others who joined the war against them, they told them, don't worry, once you score this mark, it's okay. Once this one, no, you can score the lowest. And they made this generation of Northerners in particular, that it doesn't matter what they score, whether they go to school or they don't go to school, they are born to rule. See where they are today. So if the Yorubas that continue to brag of Omalade Niwa, we are princes and princesses, and at the end of the day, we are actually becoming slaves, slaves, criminals. Enough that when you look at, like he said as well, When you look at those who are being arrested with police record, though, arrested for ritual killings, killing people because of money. This is not like a harvesting organ, cutting off head. Or look, you can't even bury your dead in Yoruba land and say, okay, if person die, they say rest in peace. Our dead are not mostly resting in peace because we have raised a generation that believes that we could actually use human flesh, human head, for money. A lot of our young people are into what? Yahoo. And when you say Yahoo, internet fraudster or internet fraud, we are seeing them here and there. Parents are encouraging their children to go into crime as long as it makes them money. But they are still telling us that, we are not as worse as the Igbos. Now the Igbos are pushing back because the statistics, the data is now running contrary, that we are actually at the epicenter of it. But we still have those who are telling us that I don't believe them, running on the propaganda that the Igbos are this, the Igbos are that. I was having a chat with a friend who kind of was shockingly, he was telling me that, but the Igbos are still the one doing this. And I said, but you don't have the data for it. The data proves otherwise. And I was like, which data? Which data? There are many of you who are still watching this broadcast this evening. Maybe you are in your 40s, in your 50s. I know where you're coming from. Yeah. Because you still believe in some of all these propagandas that they actually run on us. We have been making us ignore how degenerated we have become. And go and look at our children today in Yoruba land. And you can tell whatever the future holds for us. You can guess if we actually have any future. So I share that, and I leave us with the rest. So I will continue to point out that, it's not all Yorubas, and we really, really need to drown it. The bigotry that these guys are promoting in Yoruba land, the hatred they are promoting, they inherited them. It is ideal that all of us do our best to make sure that our children do not inherit all of this propaganda that is mostly detrimental to us. Again, thank you so much. If you indeed take that in and you can digest it, every day there is a report of either somebody raping a child, all because they told him that he should go and rape a child. He should go and rape a child to death and he will become rich. People are killing their pregnant wives. People are actually killing their own children, kidnapping other people's children because they are told that they could kill them and make money. Every now and then I come here to remind you, killing people will not make you rich. No ritualist can ask you to go and kill human beings and then become rich. Every day in their police record, pastors, they are encouraging people to go and bring human flesh, human head, human parts for ritual, for money. And all of these are vices that will end up being known as Yorubas this. So if you have a chance if you have a chance like I do, it is ideal to speak up and speak out before your own head end up in one calabash somewhere, so that you can become rich. I have seen those who are killing people or exhuming the heads or bodies of dead people because they want to be rich. They still look wretched, poorer. So there will be a time that we'll have to kind of struggle to convince the world that it is not all Yorubas. So if you have a chance right now, like I do, spread the word. Because the criminals who are lying to us, using propaganda to cover all our own degenerated people, right? Majority of them, they will be gone then when they will say Yorubas are this, Yorubas are that. Some of us may be even dead then. Abi, can you even imagine it? That in Yoruba land, we have people who are boldly, confidently defending a drug dealer, Tinubu, the drug dealer, that becomes a president of Nigeria, appointed the fellow kleptomaniacs that are destroying Nigeria right now. Nobody will probably be able to explain it to the coming generation that these are not the best of Yorubas. These can't be the best of Yorubas. this cannot be the best that the Yoruba have to offer Nigeria. Yoruba could offer leadership. Awolowo was one legacy that a lot of us refer back to today. Awolowo died over 30 years ago. And what kind of leaders are we producing in Yoruba land today? The ones that are similar to the rank day leadership that the northern Nigeria has been accustomed to. So they may think they have the power to control the levels of power in Nigeria. But you see the people that they told us, were supposed to, the people they were showing their kwashiorkor body, pictures, videos. Look at them today. They have now used those stigmatization to build bond, to build wealth, recreated the wealth, like redistributed the wealth, enough than any of us have done in Yoruba land, in Hausa land, and other lands apart from the Igbo land. So I just thought I should say that it's a rant that I thought it's ideal to share. And if it doesn't sit down well with you, I can understand how deep the propaganda has run on you. But as for myself, my children, I will keep telling them the truth. Those who are pushing, those Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, who believes that Yoruba is still this, Yoruba is still that, claiming Lagos, forgetting the fact that Yoruba land didn't start, it doesn't start from Lagos or end in Lagos. You need to go to the other part of Yoruba land and see what they have turned our people into. Cannibals, ritualists, drug peddlers, murderers, and other vices that if it continues like this, we would have to deal with a lot of explanation. We have to do a lot of explanation to tell the whole world later. Because if you are still pointing fingers at the Igbos, you are doing what? You are doing exactly what their conditioning has done to you. But the reality today and the data available is no longer backing your propaganda anymore. It is time for us to tell ourselves the truth. Yoruba land is being decimated and filled with illiterates, half-educated people, hateful people, bigoted people. And if nothing is done now, we will probably begin to kill ourselves. Because, if I believe that if I cut off your head, I will be richer. So, won't I do it? Thank you so much, everyone, anyway, for your time. I thought we could take calls, but if we try to do that right now, it's probably just going to be for just half an hour. What do you think? Should we take 1 or 2 calls or just call it a night? Just one person should say it. Take a call, call it a night. I've taken all of our time, I know I've taken a lot of our time. We can actually cover, we can possibly cover this more tomorrow. I keep saying that. Take calls, call it a night. Which one? Tomorrow. That's it. Iruk and others. Okay. That's another person. They want us to do it tomorrow. Take calls. You know what? Let's do it tomorrow. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the evening or the night. I will see you tomorrow. And one more thing. I believe Garba Life is still watching. Celia, I asked you to send me a message. Because I've been trying to kind of get your number from the studio phone, but I couldn't really get that. So if you do send me a message right now and say, well, Mayegun, this is Celia. We have somebody who needed to refund your donation that you, the double donation you made a few weeks ago. So there is someone who needs to send that your $70 back to you. Okay. But we need to work out how do you want it back. So I need you to message and send me that text message on the studio WhatsApp number. Okay. Just say, Mayegun, this is Cecilia. I will take it on from there. Sister, everyone else. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. láwàmọ̀ tó jódodo.
Máyégún dáyàrí náírà nọ́mbà wán.
Máyégún ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Máyégún dáyàrí náírà nọ́mbà wán.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Máyégún dáyàrí náírà nọ́mbà wán.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí.
Máyégún dáyàrí náírà nọ́mbà wán.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún dáyàrí náírà nọ́mbà wán.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí.
Máyégún dáyàrí náírà nọ́mbà wán.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún dáyàrí náírà nọ́mbà wán.
Máyégún dáyàrí pòlítíkò.
Máyégún dáyàrí náírà nọ́mbà wán.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún.
Máyégún dáyàrí náírà nọ́mbà wán.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Máyégún dáyàrí náírà nọ́mbà wán.
Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó jódodo.
Máyégún dáyàrí náírà nọ́mbà wán.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Àyè.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù máyé ń ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.